You know, the United States of America was the greatest country before Trump, and it's the greatest country now after Trump. The white supremacists want to go back. They want to go back to the days when it was legal to own slaves.
You are about to be entertained by the ape, the young man who has become a legend in his own time. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Yes. What's up, everybody? You better be able to handle the truth, because if you can't exist in this world the way it is today. March 10th, 2022. Welcome, everybody. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com, Facebook Live right now, YouTube Live, Twitter Live. We're all over the place. Thanks so much, everybody. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for allowing me to be a part of your Thursday night. You know, everybody's warming up because tomorrow is Friday. And you know what it is. You know what time it is. This weekend, the time goes up. We go to daylight saving time. So, wow. So the summer is just about here. And I can see that the gas prices are like spiraling out of control. And you know what? I'm still going where I want to go. I'm still doing what I want to do. I am not cutting back nothing, okay? Because we've been through this, this situation with the gas. I mean, maybe not because of a war, but we've been through this already. Look at just a couple of years ago, Hurricane Sandy, when the lines were going around the corner and you couldn't get gas and yada yada yada. I was too young to drive when they for the first serious gas shortage when they were doing odd and even license plate numbers and whatnot, and I didn't have a car. But with the Hurricane Sandy and a couple other, things, we've been down this road. I'm not cutting back nothing. I'm going where I want to go. I have a Tahoe. It's big, and it uses gas. It takes regular, though. It takes regular, because I will not buy a truck that takes high test. Anyway, everybody, welcome back. It's me, yours truly, Ron Kelly, the Ron Kelly Show. Shout out to my friend Linda Galashaw, who I just couldn't find her number. I was going to bring her on tonight because she's got an opinion and some things to talk about. She's an intelligent woman. So I apologize to her. Got a little bit of a late start because my computer was acting the way it wanted to act. And there really wasn't nothing I could do about it. But anyway, welcome back. Welcome, everybody. It's the Ron Kelly Show. So so how does a 5-year-old beat up? I mean, where do they find these stories? A 5-year-old severely beat a teacher. Now, how in the hell can a 5-year-old severely beat a teacher? Because there's not a 5-year-old on earth that's I'm going to let beat me, Severely beat by a 5-year-old. Oh, how big is that 5-year-old? Must be like 6'3". Anyway, it just seems kind of crazy that a 5-year-old Florida boy beat his teacher. Okay, everybody, it's 12 minutes past the hour. You know what time it is. It's the Ron Kelly Show. So I saw the video. I don't believe everything that I hear. And everybody has an opinion. And, there's a lot of fake, phony, fraudulent news going on out here. And, you don't know what to believe. See, I see stuff and right away I'm like, oh, no. Can't be. And some of us are gullible, and the fake news people use that, but I don't believe nothing until I do some due diligence and take a look and see what's going on with it. And so I saw the video of the black folks being kicked off the train. We just can't go nowhere. Black folks can't go nowhere. And, and for a while, I felt bad for the Ukrainians. I mean, I still, as a human being, you got to feel something for them that they uprooted from their homes and, and not all of them are racist, no more than all white people in America are racist. And so you got to feel something for them, but uprooted from your home and crossing into another country. It's like somebody blasted off in New Jersey. We have to walk to New York. And we don't have no, I mean, it's just unthinkable what's being done to those people. And, you know, in the beginning, initially, I felt really bad for them, you know, but when I saw that video of them being kicked off that train, like it was 1947, I'm like stunned, like, wow, for real? Really? And so in 2020, in 2022, we have one country invading another. And then on the same token, they, you know, the people, and they were Ukrainians who were running the train. And when I saw black folks being kicked off the train, I mean, it was almost comical. I mean, wow. I mean, okay, at least when back in the day in the 50s, at least we had a chance to sit on the back of the bus at least. And but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Let them sit in the back of the train if at all possible. But yeah, when I saw those Ukrainian people kicking my people off the bus, you know, my sympathy meter went down. You know, my sympathy meter went down. But you know, but black folks, we just got it bad. We can't go nowhere. You would think that in Ukraine and Russia is dropping bombs down there like it's nobody's business. You think they would put that in the back burner for a minute? You're like, okay, let them on the train, even though I don't like black people or I'm a racist or whatever the case may be. But let them on the plane. Now, let them on the train. Now, Vladimir Putin was saying that he attacked Ukraine because they're Nazis. Now, after watching that video of them black folks being dropped off on the train, being kicked off the train, now I don't necessarily believe that you know, because Putin lies, his Lavrov, his foreign minister lies. I mean, that's all they do is lie. And so I don't necessarily believe that, but wow, black folks, we can't get a break. Can't get a break because there's always something. All the way over there in Ukraine, thousands of miles away. You would think that maybe, yeah, okay, let them, you know. Just unbelievable. But you see, part of the problem is, and bear with me, I mean, stick with me here, everybody. It's 16 minutes after the hour. So, you know, a lot of those, many of those, in a lot of those countries, they show a lot of reruns. They don't have the, you know, unless they're streaming or whatever the case may be. And they show a lot of reruns, you know. And a lot of those reruns are like Starsky and Hutch, The Wire, you know, The Corner. That's what people see overseas before they come to America. Golden Shores, the fruited plain of the United States of America. And so when a lot of those people, when they get here, they're scared to death of black folks because they think that what they see on TV is what all black folks are about, which it couldn't be further from the truth. So I really was angry when I saw those black folks being kicked off that train. Now they were already on the train. Why would you kick them off? I just don't understand it. Wow. Racism is everywhere. All right, it's we're 9.5 minutes into the program, and this is the Ron Kelly Show. I think it'd be a good time to let you know that the views and opinions expressed here are exclusively those of myself and R. Kelly Media Enterprises LLC, which is the parent company of the Ron Kelly Show, and are not those of my advertisers or my support team. So whatever I say comes from yours truly. 10 minutes in to the program at even though it's 18 minutes past the hour. So unbelievable. Yeah, racism. Anywhere you go, black folks are going to be ostracized. It don't matter where. It's just unbelievable. So I'm talking to a friend last night, And somehow or another, we got into matter of fact, this was a listener, somebody who listens to the Ron Kelly Show faithfully. And we're having a conversation, and I'm not sure how it swung the way it swung, but we were talking about same-sex marriage. And somehow it swung into incarceration. See, okay, because, it's 19 minutes past the hour. We, I keep saying we, right? And so the question came up, does long-term incarceration turn men into inmates into bisexuals? Does long-term incarceration turn the inmates into bisexuals? Now, this has been an ongoing, this has been a question that has existed through the ages. Does long-term incarceration turn normal men, and I say that, with parentheses, into bisexuals? So does long-term incarceration turn men into bisexuals? Because, hey, guys, there's the only thing there, and there's are gay people in prison. They come at a high value. They come at a high value, gay folks in prison. So we kind of debated the question, let me put the comments on. So we debated the question, does long-term incarceration turn normal men, normal quote unquote, into bisexuals? And I say no, because it had to be already in you in order for you to do that. It had to be already in you. Another person said to me, well, maybe they got raped or whatever. That would piss me off even more after I killed everybody on my tier. Greetings, Lamont Gates. Lamont Gates says there's a difference between bisexual and same. Is that same sex, SANE, Lamont Gates, or SAME, sexual activity? I say no. Same-sex activity. Oh, okay. So there's a difference between same-sex activity and bisexuality. Oh, so all right. So what you're saying is, Lamont Gates, is that they practice that until they go home, and then after they go home, after they get out and go home, they go back to being old boy. Is that what you're saying? So everybody chime in with me here on the Facebook, as Lamont Gates did on the Facebook feed, if you're interested. I see quite a few folks on the Facebook and on the YouTube as well. So we'll put that out there. Lamont Gates seems to think there's a difference between bisexuality and same-sex activity. I say no. I say no because, all right, you know what? I'll tell you why I say no, and I'll explain to you what I mean when we come back. It's the Ron Kelly Show, everybody, and it's on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on blogtalkradio.com. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go. George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
All righty, then we're back at 23 minutes past the hour. And I got a whole stack. It's that time of the year again. And I got a whole stack of W-2 forms that I got to turn into my buddy. But it's that time of the year again. And if you're looking to get your taxes done with that personalized touch, then go on over to My Tax Preparer, Arenaza's Tax Service. Arenaza's Tax Service is your tax specialist. And then like those big assembly line tax preparers, Arenaza's Tax Service will answer all your questions and give your tax returns the attention they deserve. Conveniently located locally here in the New York metropolitan area at 424 Lakeview Avenue in Clifton. Give them a call, 862-238-7548. That's 862-238-7548 or 201-888-8011. That's 201-888-8011. And when you do, make sure you tell Jose you heard about it right here on the Ron Kelly Show for your special discount and to keep the checks coming in. Arenaza's Tax Service is your new tax preparation specialist at 24 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. All right, it's Thursday night, and you're listening to the Ron Kelly Show. Beautiful day the other day, and then it snowed yesterday. The world's coming to an end, everybody. I'm putting it out there. I'm not Nostradamus or the Mayans or anybody else who has predicted the end of civilization as we know it. Well, you know what? I'm going to do it and say it. So so it's just about 7:30, almost 7:25. Yeah, so I wanted to add. So Lamont Gates, thank you for your comment about. Thank you for your comment, Lamont Gates, about what I was talking about before we went to break about the what happens in prison. But if you have a comment about the what's going on in Ukraine, I will gladly accept it. It's you can just go onto the Facebook feed for the Ron Kelly Show. Just click on the show, and you'll be able to chime in and tell me what you think at this time. Because Lamont Gates says there's a difference between bisexuality and same-sex activity. I say no. I think they're one and the same, Lamont. I think that they're one and the same. And bisexuality is same-sex activity. Because if it's not in, I think it has to be in you. I think it has to be in you in order for you to participate. Because when a man gets excited, Lamont Gates says a sexuality is an innate attraction. Having sex does not necessarily mean you're attracted. Doing it for money, job, promotion, fear, etc. Well, if somebody puts a knife to your throat, what choice do you have? Especially if you were in prison and somebody, if 5 or 6 Negro, it doesn't necessarily be Negroes, set upon you. You are compelled, if you want to live, compelled to comply. Let's just put it like that. Say it nicely. Comply. So are you? No, I'm not, Lamont. I'm not. No, I'm not, Lamont. No, that won't be tomorrow's headline. No, not at all. But I was just mentioning it because it did come up in a conversation I was having with a young lady, actually. No, I don't. I'm not aware of any threats. Okay. He's not talking about me. Okay. Okay. All right. It's 20 minutes into the program. Y'all know what time it is. It's the Ron Kelly Show. Yeah. So we got a lot going on. We have a lot going on. And Putin again, I feel kind of bad for those people, but I feel kind of bad for them. But when I saw black folks being kicked off the train, it was very disturbing. It was very disturbing. Kick the black folks off the train. Sorry. Stay here and get blown up. We need this space for the white folks. Just completely unbelievable. And then you have Trump going around saying, I mean, he's still kissing Putin's behind for some reason, because you got him going around now saying Putin is genius, Putin is smart. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, so Henry Ruggs is in, Henry Ruggs is, his trial has been delayed. Really? Driving 156 miles an hour? It needs to be delayed. What evidence do you need to go over to see how far down his foot was pressed on the gas pedal? Facing 50 years in prison. It's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. Is a person gay if a knife is held, forcing them to act, says Mr. Gates. No, I'm talking about willing participation, Lamont. I'm not talking about rape. I'm talking about willing participation between two people. There's no rape. That both parties are willing. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about rape. That's a different story. That's a different story. Yeah, that's a different story. No, it's been 3 years since I've been on doing the church thing. I've been the cameraman at Christ Church for 3 years. Wow, I didn't even realize it was that long. Okay, men don't consider themselves being bi if they ought to get. Yeah, Nikki Totten. And see, and that's the thing. See, because, some people, you have to give credit to the gay folks. You have to give credit to the gay men who have come out and proclaim their gayness, or whatever you want to call it. So you have to give them credit, because they're not hiding behind the scenes. They're not married with children and perpetrating a fraud, playing a role because they can't accept. Because they can't accept that they're gay or bisexual. So some men, they get married and they, have children, marry this woman, unsuspecting, seize upon this person, and they get married to them. And they get married to them and they play the role of the man. And then at night, because at night, they go out and try to find other men. So, because the Jones Girls wrote a song called Children of the Night years ago, many years ago, Children of the Night, I think it was the Jones Girls, if I'm not mistaken. And a song that was about that, about bisexuality. And if you listen to the lyrics, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But yes, Nikki Totten. Lamont Gates says there's a difference between bisexual, and then he says the sexuality is innate attraction. Having sex does something. Lamont Gates had quite a few comments, and then Nikki Totten chimed in and said, men don't consider themselves being bi if they had to give it, which is the truth. That is very true. That's very true. That women, I mean, the men who are playing the role of the man, I believe they call them tops and bottoms, something like that. I heard somebody say that today. They don't consider themselves bi if they are the giver, which is unbelievably not true. Bunny McKnight, my good brother, says, why do you think Cameo wrote the song She's why do I think Cameo wrote the song She's Strange? Okay. Yeah, so it doesn't make a bit of difference who is the giver or the taker, you know. It's because the point is, you know, with the bisexuality, like I said, to men, you know, probably people I know, probably people that you know, who portray the role of a man. And it's not to say that because you're bisexual or gay that you can't be a man. I mean, yeah, you're a man, you're a male. You know, you were born that way. But people or men, and I'm not going to say I have a problem with it. Hey, do you? But men will participate. They will play the role, hang out at the cigar bar, et cetera, like I do. Not bisexual, but and when they're away at night, they turn into somebody else. Married, have wife, you know, have children. And then it comes out and the ish hits the fan, and now the family's destroyed, the woman's destroyed. And I'm going to bring, you know what? And I'm going to bring some women. I'm going to bring a woman on or bring some women on who are not going to identify themselves, by the way. But I'm going to bring women on. I'm going to put that show together and bring some women on who were victimized by some joker who didn't want to face who he really was. 27 minutes past the hour of 7. Well, it's 35 minutes past the hour. So Nikki Totten says Janet Jackson played a role in a movie with her husband who didn't consider himself that way. What was the name of that movie, Nikki? I would love to know what the name of that movie was, because I would like to check it out. So, yeah, definitely R. Kelly Talk at AOL.com. R. Kelly Talk at AOL.com is the email address where you could holler at a brother. But if you want to go to the feed, you can go to the feed. They won't let me say it. Oh, who is they? Who is they? Are you somewhere where somebody's holding you hostage? I mean, who is they? FB. Who is FB? Oh, Facebook. But if it was a movie and I don't get it. If it was a movie, what's the big deal? You know, if it was a movie, what's the big deal? If it was a movie that was released in the theaters, what's the big deal? I don't understand. I don't understand that. Not at all. Why would somebody have a problem with that for colored girls? Why would somebody have a problem with that? I don't get it. It was for colored. They're blocking it. But why? Maybe because you're saying colored. Yeah, that could be it. If you're saying colored is considered offensive. So if you're saying colored, then maybe, you know, then okay, I can see that. If you're saying colored. All right, time to take a break. Time to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more of the program, Mr. Ron Kelly Show, all over the social media spectrum. righty then. We're back on the Ron Kelly Show. It's 21 minutes before the hour. For 41 years, and you imagine having that much experience. For 41 years, Amaker and Porterfield Transportation has provided safe, clean, and reliable transportation to and from your destination. Amaker and Porterfield Transportation provides service to schools and churches and medical transportation as well. Licensed to operate by the license to operate by the New Jersey State Department of Transportation. Their late model fleet of buses and vehicles will make sure you get to you and from your destination safely, and their courteous drivers will see to your needs during your transportation experience. They're located at 307 Arlington Avenue in Plainfield, New Jersey. Give them a call, 908-753-6423. That's 908-753-6423. Or email them at amaker.porterfield@verizon.net. That's amaker.porterfield. Amaker, AMAKER.Porterfield, PORTERFIELD at verizon.net. Whatever time it is. It's 20 minutes before the hour. So the movie was for colored girls. Okay, for colored girls. Nikki Totten says Janet Jackson played a role in the movie where her husband did. But now, was he that way or just didn't consider him that way? I mean, what was the story with that? Because this is kind of open-ended question statement. Buddy McKnight says cameo role. Now, I'm not getting the connection with not as powerful as for colored girls, but okay. All right, Bunny McKnight. My brother from another mother, Bunny McKnight, who still participates with the Ron Kelly Show. So I'm thinking about going to real estate school. No, I am going to go to real estate school because we are addicted to certainty. Many of us addicted to certainty. It's 19 minutes before the hour. We're addicted to certainty. So we have a job that we hate, and we go to the job. And I'm not saying everybody hates their job, but we have a job, and we go to the job every day. We go to that job that we hate because we go to that job that we hate because we're addicted to certainty, because I'm going to get paid. Yes, I do, Lamont Gates, as a matter of fact. Yes, 100% yes. And we go to that job. Well, hate is a strong word, but I'm definitely not feeling it whatsoever. And we do these jobs because we're addicted to certainty. That check is coming. That check is coming. Okay. That check is coming. So we go to this job that we really, oh, my God, I almost fell on my chair. We go to this job that we really don't like because we want to, because many of us are addicted to certainty. Go to work. All I got to do is get up and go to work. Do what they tell me to do. And I get a check. Okay, Bunny McKnight says guys play the man role in the day and a lady at night. Wow. Yeah, that's true for the bisexual ones. But like I said, I can respect, some people, guys, when they see heterosexual men or whatever, when they see gay men out in the street, like you're down in the village and you're walking around with your girl or whatever, and you see gay people holding hands, and men, some men frown on that. So some men frown on that. So I don't frown. Let me segue back into the gay thing. I don't frown on that because you got to give them respect, because what happens to people. What happens to people when they come out? Many of them get, exercise from their family, et cetera, the friends. It's very traumatic experience for gay people when they come out. But you got to respect that, especially the men. You got to respect that, because at least they're coming out. They're not in the closet like R. Kelly. R. Kelly, so the musically gifted R. Kelly, who is not amongst us anymore. He's still alive, just not amongst us, folks who are free. But you got to give him respect. I respect gay men who have come out. I respect them because they're pronouncing who they are. They are who they are, and they accept who they are, and they like men, and that's what they go after. They're not married, and they're not in a relationship. They're not perpetrating a fraud with some woman, having children, and playing a man role, as my good friend Bunny McKnight just said it. In the nighttime, it's a whole different story. Okay. Lamont Gates asked me, did I hate my job? Yes, 100%. Nikki Totten says she doesn't like what I don't dislike what I do. It's who I do it with. The pension keeps me. And that's the thing. That's what I was segueing into, Nikki Totten. So that was perfect segue into what I was talking about. The addiction to certainty. See, because many of us won't take a chance, hang out our shingle and go out and, do a whole new thing. I respect the person that quits their job and they don't have nothing else set up. Now, a lot of people think that's crazy, but it's not crazy. It's not crazy. See, because successful people, the Steve Jobs, and not to say that, just as an example, I mean, I'm not saying that if you quit your job, you're going to turn into Steve Jobs. No, but Steve Jobs and the Mark Cubans, even some of the black folks, entrepreneurs, Tyler Perry and some of those folks didn't want to sit back and wait for a pension. And not that there's anything wrong with that. Now, don't get me wrong. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But that's the certainty we're addicted to. Many of us are afraid to go out and live, and take a chance. Because we all have dreams and we all have things that we wouldn't mind doing. And maybe you want to open a restaurant. Maybe you want to open a hair salon or a cigar establishment or whatever the case may be. A lot of us have those thoughts in the back of our heads, but the thoughts are suppressed because we're addicted to certainty. And we wait for a pension. So you work all your life and then you get a pension. So you work all your life to be on a fixed income. That's basically what a pension is. You work all your life, toil and, struggle and toil and, and ride trains and buses and automobiles and you work all your life and you wind up with a fixed income, that pension. Nikki says, if COVID haven't taught you anything, it taught me to keep my civil service. You see, that's what I'm saying, because that's guaranteed just about. So we won't go out and try and to be an entrepreneur. Many of us are afraid that, so we're already proclaiming failure. We already think we're going to fail. So we don't go out and try to live our dreams. Me personally, I'm trying to make that move. Because I don't want to be, when I retire, if you call it that, I still want to be able to fly to. Yeah, Nikki says the side hustle is not bad. I'll be there. Yeah, because once I graduate from real estate school, right? Because the real estate market is going to be bouncing back, and I'm a personable guy, and I can, persuade people to do things that they may not want to do. So, and that's what I'm going to do. And when I graduate from real estate school, the first house I sell, I'm quitting my job. So right there, boom, done. You see, because in Lamont Gates, I don't know if anybody from my job is watching the show, whatever, but you see, it's I don't want to work all my life and still be limited, Lamont, when I consider myself to stop working. Because you're never going to stop working. You're always going to be doing something. I'm not going to be, just sitting around wasting away. I'm going to be doing stuff. But that's when I graduate from real estate school, I'll still be working on the radio thing as well. It'll give me more times. Right now, I don't have enough time to promote myself. I don't have enough time. I should be on Sirius, but I don't have enough time to promote myself. So having a career or a I wouldn't call it a hustle, but having a career, you see, again, I just, when I graduate from real estate school, and if I quit my job, I'll have time during the day to promote myself, because I've been on the radio for a long time. I should have been Sirius or Spotify or some of these other places, and I should be getting paid right now for all the years that I've been on the radio, going way back to the Ron Kelly Show at William Patterson, WPSC 88.7 FM, and the many radio stations I've been on. I should be well on my way, but I don't have enough time to devote to my career as a radio personality, because I know I'm good enough to be somebody who gets paid. Now that goes without question. I'll never not believe that. But right now I don't have enough time to pursue my radio career properly. Nikki says it's not promising unless you have clientele in the name. Well, yeah, I already have a name. I already have a presence. I already have a radio presence already. So, there's no issue with that. And I know that, I'm personable enough and handsome enough to because if people like you, they'll buy from you. And you're right, it's not promising that the market goes up and down. Yeah, that's why you have to. I mean, if you sell a house and your commission is like 15 G's, I mean, that should be enough. I mean, you keep selling, but you keep the trick to that will be not to blow money. I got $15,000. Pay your bills for 3 months, 4 months in advance. This way you don't have to worry about it. What exactly is promised other than eternity? Well, Lamont Gates, I don't know if none of us know what's on the other side, unless you do. None of us know what's on the other side. So what's promised is death. Now, beyond that, I mean, I know you do your program in near-death experiences, but I don't particularly know anybody who actually died. Death experience. Somebody who died and can come back and tell you what the heck was going on. Stephanie Freitas says a career is a job, period. Work is work. Yes, there can be passion about a field of work, but work is work. I'm thinking about all the years I still have ahead of me, and I'm like, well, yeah, because you're young, Stephanie. And she also says, and then add to that the whole volatility of the job market, and then that just adds to the whole stress of thinking about working all the way up to retirement. So Lamont Gates says he knows somebody who died and came back, and all right, I'd like to hear that. I'd like to hear Lamont Gates' near-death experiences on the radio, on YouTube, I believe it is. Spiritual Talk Radio. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. It's 5 minutes before the hour. I'm going to end the show. The show is going to end at 8 o'clock. I'm not going to run over. Even though there's actually 13 minutes left to the show. But we're going to end the show in 5 minutes. Okay. So Lamont Gates knows people who, yeah, right, because the people who guest on Lamont Gates' show have all died. Well, if anybody on there that died and saw into the future, like 100 years from now, I'd be interested to know what, if the world is still here in the year 2122, I would be interested to know what exactly is going on. You know, I'd be interested to know. I think the closest thing I've ever seen with that was the movie AI, Artificial Intelligence. I think that was a really good movie. And it was the first movie that I've seen that I think correctly predicted what the world would look like in the future. So, yeah. So, 4 minutes left to the program. So, yeah. But a career is a job, period. And I hear you, Stephanie. Yeah, but a career, I mean, you wouldn't consider Biden to have a job. You wouldn't consider Tyler Perry to have a job. Kevin Hart, Madonna. I mean, those are not jobs. Those are not jobs. Those are careers. The job is, going to work and punching in and sitting down at your desk at the office. That's a job. But a career is something that you enjoy. See, because a job, you can't really talk about what happens on your job. Like, let's say you work for New Jersey Transit or whatever, and you're driving the bus all day. I mean, who wants to hear what happened on the bus that day? Unless, who wants to hear it? Somebody cut me off, somebody didn't pay their fare. I mean, so what? Who wants to hear that? But a career, and, shout out to all the New Jersey Transit bus drivers. But a career is something that's interesting when you go to work and you don't know what's going to happen. Like on my job, for example, what I did last Thursday, I did today. What I did last Friday, I'll do today. It's so repetitive, it's so redundant, it's so mind-numbing that I can leave my brain home and not even bring my brain. I can leave my brain on the coffee table and come to work without it because I don't really need it. Because what I do is not challenging, and that's part of the problem. It's like having a woman who doesn't have any conversation and you're on your way to North Carolina and you've got 7 more hours to be sitting next to this person who's not saying a word. So, yeah. So, yeah. So my job is a job. Wash, rinse, repeat. That's what it is. Nothing exciting, nothing, interesting, nothing. Absolutely nothing. I function. I function at work. I don't thrive at work. I function at work. All right, everybody. It's 2 minutes before the hour, so I just supposed to thank everybody for chiming in to the Ron Kelly Show And Nikki, we can compare notes sometime because I'm definitely enrolling into the. As a matter of fact, I'm waiting for somebody to call me back. I'm definitely enrolling into the real estate school. Little Mon Gates, I'm going to sell you and Stephanie your first house. Okay, everybody, I'm going to break out of here. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all of you folks who listen to the Ron Kelly Show on Facebook. Even though I can't see you all, unless you chime in, I can't see you. But thank you to the folks at YouTube and Facebook and et cetera, folks who have supported me over the years with the Ron Kelly Show. And don't worry, we're going to get where we're trying to go. I guarantee it. All right, it's about a minute left before the hour, so I want to thank everybody for joining me. We'll see you back here next Thursday, hopefully, if Putin doesn't send off the missiles for the Ron Kelly Show. So until then, I'd like to say it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And that we may not have it all together, but together we can have it all. Thank you so much. I am done. Oh, well, and what?